Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog, yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk, don't care what they say. I don't got no patience, I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym, I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work, told them it's strictly business. And I see through the face, they all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, we got an amazing show for you tonight as Bitcoin is still just wiggling around sideways here, but we're going to break down the price action like we do every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is the next move on Bitcoin? And I want to talk about some of the bearish signs on those higher time frames, as we are starting to see some of those red dots pop up on Market Cypher be potentially calling for a little bit of a move to the downside. So we're going to cover those key levels. Yes, the same key levels that we've been looking at for quite some time. As you guys know, Bitcoin, oh, Mike is clipping. What is going on with these touch buttons? Why would you put touch-sensitive buttons on a microphone? I don't know. Shout out to Sure. And shout out to this microphone. Thank you for that, Rob the Crypto Snob. I appreciate you, brother. Those red stop signs always stop me in my tracks. So shout out to you, brother. But we got an amazing, amazing show for you guys tonight. We're going to be taking a look at the key levels, not only on Bitcoin, but I want to talk about Ethereum as well. As you guys know, I wasn't along on Ethereum yesterday. That has hit final TP. I want to talk about that trade just a little bit. And as we hit that final TP on that degenerate Ethereum long, I actually aggressively entered an Ethereum short, which is up right now on the small account that I was talking about the other day. So I want to go over the trades as well with you guys, as you know, a lot of these things are just going sideways. So we're going to try to keep it exciting here. Take a look at the trades, take a look at Ethereum, and then we will also take a look at some of the altcoins. It's going to be a potentially short stream. I know that's a little suspicious every time I say that, but it's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter stream tonight, guys, as I have a splitting headache right now, and there's not much going on. So I don't want to kill myself out here when there's almost no price action whatsoever. So without further ado, guys, go ahead and smash that like button. Oh, now we're too low. Now we're too low. What is going on? I can't. If I go any higher, I'm literally going to clip here on the meter. Let's see. Slightly turn it up, please. We'll go up one more notch, maybe. Bada boom. Is that better? Test, test, test. Are we clipping now? Are we clipping? Test, test. Are we loud? Can you guys hear me? Are we good? Turn the mic up. Shout out to Greg. Well, with all that being said, guys, smash that like button. If you think I'm a little bit too loud or a little bit too quiet, smash that like button. It's the easiest and most free way to help support this YouTube channel, to keep us up here, bringing you this free trading education. Better. Thank you. Shout out to Tyler Jordan and Rob the Crypto Snob. But before we jump into it, not only smash the like button, guys, but let's say what's up to the Mafia. We got Jay Gilly in the chat. What is going on, brother? Said short stream, ... 2 hours later. Shout out to Jay Gilly. Yeah, probably a 95% hit rate on just shorting me when I say that it's going to be a short stream. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, Frank's analysis is so sharp that I got a flat tire. Yes, Tony D did get a flat tire. And he's actually dealing with that right now. But I'm sure he's got the phone in one hand, because you guys know Tony D has never, ever not been in a Frankie Candles live stream, even if he has a flat tire. Shout out, or if he's on a plane, like, it literally doesn't matter. He's always here. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for everything you do. Shout out to the mods. You guys know who they are. Tyler Jordan, Rob the Crypto Snob, Crypto Billy, Crypto Anon, Captain Kirk, D Petty Crypto, Chemistry Bro. Show him some love in the chat, guys. We got Mike Bennett. What is going on, brother? We got Hotto Crypto. What is up? Mr. ETC says, stop yelling. Shout out to Mr. ETC. Okay, fine. I'll stop yelling. I will stop yelling, Mr. ETC. Shout out to Huddle Crypto, Enzo Mining. What is going on, brother? We got Greg in the chat. Derek Brown, good to see you, bro. What is going on? Welcome in. We got Derelict. What is going on? We got, let's see. Mr. Ethereum said, well, no price action is not necessarily a bad thing. Mr. Ethereum, yes, it is definitely not a horrible thing. It's just a little bit boring. But as you guys know, typically when Bitcoin is not making a move and it is taking a nap, you want to be careful trying to wake her up because a lot of times she will wake up and rear her head. But the real question, is it going to be to the upside or the downside? Shout out to Joel. What is going on, brother? He says, "Saw, dude. What's up, dude? What's going on?" Theo Rodriguez, what is going on? We got Pennywise in the chat. And last but certainly not least, we got B-Rad Crypto tuning in. What is going on? But with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and try to figure out what the heck this thing Bitcoin is going to do next. And maybe it'll go sideways. I bet it will. But let's go ahead and jump in here, guys. So here we are on not the 7 minute. We do not want to be on the 7 minute. Let's come up to the daily here. But here we are on the Bitcoin chart. And as you guys know, just to break things down for anybody who's never, ever looked at Bitcoin in their life, or at least in the past 3 months, we have been going sideways for about 3 full months here. Absolute pain, or at least absolute bore fest. I wouldn't say pain, but not only are we going sideways here, we are also going sideways within our little consolidation right here. So it's like sidewaysception. We got sideways in the macro, sideways in the micro, which is absolutely brutal for the content, but it is not bad for the trades. And again, we will show those Ethereum trades in just a second. But as we sit here, guys, the real question is, what is Bitcoin's next move going to be? And just to break this thing down nice and simply for you guys, just to be clear, we are looking at this market in one major context, and that is sitting right here with our volume profile pulled over this entire area of consolidation. And I am still in my long position from down here. It's just sitting up here, just rotting, just collecting those fees. But this is the major volume profile we're looking at, basically just sitting in a range between about 71.1 all the way down to about 62.9. And as long, right, basically the context here is, guys, we deviated below the range. We came back up to the POC and to the value area high. We then deviated above that value area high before returning back into the volume profile, rejecting the value area high. And based off the volume profiles, typically the next step from here would be, if you lose the POC, you're looking to go back down to the value area low. Could this be the case? I sure hope not, but it is definitely a possibility, as I'm going to take a look at Market Cypher B in just a second and talk about some of those bearish signals. But for the most part, the key levels remain exactly the same as yesterday, guys. POC sitting at $67,028. If lost, is going to open up the door to potentially come down to our value area low, which is our next key level of support, sitting at about $63,026. So those are the 3 major volume profile levels on the daily here. And then we do also have some key levels, which I am going to go over in just a second, sitting below the volume profile down here that we could use for a little bit of a last resort support before breaking these lows. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really... who knows? We might just get a little bit of boring price action here, but you have to understand that boring price action could come, if we do just continue sideways. You have to understand that that move, that continuation sideways is likely going to result, or could result in like a 6 to, maybe even a more aggressive like 10 to 12% drop. And, even if we wind up coming all the way down to 51 to 52K, all these levels are in play, in my opinion. And, typically we took a look at this yesterday as, obviously price was going sideways. We took a look at those in the past after the halving. Typically price decides to go sideways for quite a bit here. So we typically, last cycle, I believe May 2020 was that halving. Between May 2020 and basically up until we wound up getting the breakout here for the big parabolic move to the upside, we basically went sideways for about 160 days, right? We went through May all the way through June, July, August, even September. We did get a little bit of a move, but all those summer months did wind up bringing us sideways. Are we going to see something similar here? I sure hope not, but it is definitely possible. So, with that being said, guys, I really am going to keep it kind of brief here, and I know that's kind of a meme at this point because I always say I'm going to keep everything brief, and then we just get deeper and deeper and deeper into the analysis. But those are the key levels, right? If you're looking at this volume profile, these are, in my opinion, the key levels you need to be keeping an eye on, and then those outer levels, those kind of not secret, but those additional key levels of support and resistance are going to be sitting, on the daily horizontals. We have a daily level sitting right here at about 65,221, and then we have another daily down here at 61,497, and then one more down here at about 58,232, and that other daily is 61,525. That's my fault. I was reading the cursor. But these are, to be honest, right, like, is this a potential area to get a bounce? Absolutely. But once you're below that POC, guys, you are going to be looking for an eventual move down to that value area low. So I just want to be clear. This would be considered somewhat of an intermediary, smaller term, not smaller time frame, but just like a less important support level, because once we're below that POC, tapping that daily, I am going to eventually, maybe we get a bounce off the daily, but I am going to eventually anticipate a move to the value area low. Now, could we look for a long on this daily? Potentially. It really depends on, what the price action looks like as we approach that key level. You can see we have a golden pocket confluence down here. So could we get a bounce there? Absolutely. But it would have to, we'd have to wait to analyze the price action as we approach that retracement level. But typically I'm not looking for longs in no man's land here, right? I like to take those high probability setups, more likely sitting on the value area low or the value area high. So I would much rather wait for that lower level. In which case, if we did come all the way down there, let's say we did get to that value area low and we start to deviate, this is where we could be paying attention to these daily levels for a stronger position, right? In my opinion, even though we do have that confluence on that golden pocket 786 here, in my opinion, this stronger level would be sitting on the 786, right? Because it's in confluence with that value area low. And if we do wind up coming down to that level, we could easily look for either a bounce off that off the value area low 786, or if we wind up losing that level, we could look for the long confirmation down here on the deviation, as we do have that next little daily level of support at 61,525. So, and these aren't even just all the levels here, guys. These are just simple daily horizontals, but really the strong levels that I like to look at are at least on a weekly time frame. So really, if you don't want to have your chart marked up with a bunch of different levels, I would probably just be looking at this weekly at 61,428. It's not that far away. It's in confluence with that daily level. So, I would actually put a level here, right? I would put a blue box here letting me know that when we approach this level, I am going to be looking for long confirmations, right? Because again, based off the volume profile theory, if we do come down here, again, sure, you have confluence here for a scalp, but in my opinion, it's going to be more likely to eventually get down to the value area low. I'd be interested in serious longs at this level, and even if we deviate, I'd be even more interested in a long position on this daily, weekly confluence below the volume profile. Because again, when you're below that volume profile, this is really where you want to be looking for the long positions. This actually has to do with why we entered that long on Ethereum that we went over on yesterday's live stream. And now I will go over on the short as well, as I have now flipped into a short on Ethereum. So with all that being said, guys, these are the key levels, and then obviously that line in the sand is going to be these lows here coming in at about $56,000 to $57,000. If we get that big drop to the downside, and we lose these lows, it's going to be much more likely, in my opinion, to come down to this much lower level, sitting down here at about $51,000 to $52,000. We also have a daily naked point of control down there at about 63.5, so that is going to be worth watching as well. But again, once you break these lows here at 56, 57K, it is going to be more likely, in my opinion, to come down to this kind of cluster of consolidation between about $51,000 to $52,000. Now, the question is, can we get down there? And the answer is nobody knows, right? But if we come on up here to the higher time frames, sure, we have the daily VWAP working its way back up. Money flow is still just completely indecisive here, coming into the red, coming into the green, coming back into the red. Are we just going to bing bong around? The money flow is very unclear at this point, at least on the daily time frame. But if we come on over to the 3-day here, guys, you could see, right, we did confirm this 2-day red dot on the 2-day, coincidentally, right? I'm just kidding. It's not a coincidence. It's obviously going to be there. But let me go ahead and let me just hide this stuff, and I'll hide the MPOCs as well. But if we see here, we do have this 2-day red dot confirmed, and money flow is still kind of continuing to the downside, momentum continuing to the downside. This is typically where you'd be looking for a potential pushback or a pullback. Your 3-day red dot is also looking to print here, guys, with a nice little, I guess you could call this a trigger wave, technically. You have this big old anchor wave above that negative, above that positive 60 line, and then you have this tiny little trigger wave below the positive 60 line, and then this is what we call a trigger wave, and sometimes these can cause moves to the downside. So there is reason to look for a move down, right? We actually have multiple reasons. We have we're below the value area high. As long as we remain below that value area high, we are going to be looking to potentially fill this entire range. We have the red dot looking to print on the 3-day, and we also have money flow coming out on a lot of these time frames, right? The 16 hours coming back up, daily's coming to the red. To be honest, the money flow is completely chopped up on a lot of these time frames. This is not a problem with the indicator at all. This is just a simple fact of the matter. Once in a while, you will get markets here where indicators are going to get a little bit indecisive because it's a choppy market, right? And it's very, very, very hard to read right now, and that's just a fact of what we have to deal with sometimes as traders, but it does not mean that we can't make money, right? Sure, we get the big trades, but we can also take these little scalps and cash in a very big way. We showed that yesterday on the live stream, and we were talking about how I was showing that Ethereum long, saying like, hey, like we're up $100, and then like in 5 minutes we were up $400. I was kind of trying to show you guys how effective leverage can be, or how aggressively leverage can amplify your position. But we only need, it's nice, right? And I'm not telling people to just go recklessly gamble on leverage, but if you could use leverage in a very, very responsible way, you do not need these gigantic moves. Sure, we're going to take advantage of them, but to make a bunch of money, you only need these tiny little moves in the market, right? That actual move that we'll take a look at Ethereum in a second, but it was like maybe less than a 1% move, and we were up a few $100s, right? So sure, this is boring. The big moves aren't really happening right now, but we could capitalize on these smaller movements. So overall on Bitcoin, guys, these are the key levels that I'm going to be looking at. If you guys want to screenshot those to have them on your chart, these are definitely going to be the key levels I am watching. And with that being said, we got to keep an eye on those bearish signals. Again, we're below resistance here. We could expect to potentially fill this range. And with that red dot on the 3-day, we have to keep an eye on this for a potential another move to the downside. So that's really all that we got on Bitcoin, guys. It's like I'm kind of just repeating myself from the past 2-3 weeks. Almost the last 3 months. Very, very boring price action here. But let's go ahead and move on to Ethereum, because we do have a little bit more, not excitement, but we are scalping the little moves here on Ethereum. Now, as you guys know, I did show that long position that we took yesterday. We took that now it did get a little bit scary here last night. I did not move my stop loss to break even last night, because the way I took this trade, it was a very degenerate position here. Let me see if I got let me see what we got open on Discord real quick. I don't want to share anybody's private information. Let me pull up my face cam real quick, because I do just want to pull up the Discord right quick. And let me go ahead and pull up that post that we made. Okay, so here we are, right? Put that long. Now, this is a degenerate long position. You guys can see I even shared this with the Mafia. I was like, hey, I'm scalp long on ETH. This is not a setup, and very risky. Low confluence, but based off bull divs on the lower time frames with money flow coming up. Do not follow. I can afford to lose this trade. Let me be the one that gets wrecked. Hashtag not financial advice, right? Key word here is not only super risky, I can afford to lose this trade, right? So I was very risky with this position, but the way I took the position, the amount of money that I used, the amount of leverage that I used, I was prepared to get liquidated on this trade. This is a very rare situation where I actually accept to be liquidated on a trade, but please understand that the only reason I was okay getting liquidated on this was because I wanted to use high leverage, right? And by using that high leverage, obviously my liquidation point gets very close to the price action, or to the entry, right? So like the price doesn't have to move very much for me to liquidate, but because I'm using such low capital, me getting liquidated out of that trade is essentially like me getting stopped out at a small loss. So I want to be clear. I did not have a stop loss here, but not because I was being a degen, but because I set the position up for it to be okay for me to get liquidated on that position. Now, the reason I bring that up, guys, is because if we pull up this trade, my liquidation point on this trade was $3,700 even. This candle wound up coming down to 37.01. I missed liquidation overnight by $1, which is absolutely unbelievable. It's not unbelievable, but it's extremely lucky, right? So I did not get liquidated out of that position, and what wound up happening was we actually wound up seeing the trade play out. So let me come back over to the 24-minute. We wound up getting back up here, flipping that value area low to support, and we got that entire trade to play out in full to the final TP, right, which was the 786 retracement level. Why was the 786 my full TP for this trade? Well, number one, it's a very choppy market, right? So there was nothing really screaming that we were going to yeet up to massively higher prices here, but I did think it was probably going to be quite likely that we could just potentially come back up here for a retracement and then flip back to the lower prices. And what happened? We wound up coming up here and coming up right into that 786, right? So not only was this a great place to be looking to close the whole trade, which is another story. I was actually at the doctor. I was in a doctor's appointment. So I am out of this trade in profit, but I did not take profit at the final TP. Technically, I didn't have the TP set, and I was in that doctor's appointment, so I actually didn't sell the top here. But the setup played out in full, which is really all I care about for the Discord. But, as we came up here, not only is that 786 going to work as a great TP, but also a great place to potentially look for a short position to reverse back down and capitalize on the move to the downside. So absolutely, we longed it here, right? We longed the value area low, played it out in full, and then we just shorted the top and came back down. And actually, I believe I am logged in here. Let me see if I can pull up that short position here. There we go. It is on Blowfin. Shout out to Blowfin. Up about 77%, about $767, 49, almost a $50,000 position. Entry is right here at about 3802, right? So I always try to make these like as accurate as possible. So the entry here is 3803, so it's actually a little higher here. But there's the entry, and we came up and rejected that. We always talk about this, guys, and this is kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. Where is that golden entry zone? Oftentimes, it is going to be on that 786 golden pocket retracement, and we came into the retracement. We knew this was likely going to be a lower high and a potential continuation of the trend to the downside, or at least a little bit of a retracement, and boom, took the shot. Absolutely dumped instantly. I actually took this while I was talking to my doctor. He's probably like, why is this guy on his phone? So he took that short position up a nice, healthy little 77% here. Absolutely not too shabby here. We are on 50x leverage, so it is a higher leverage position. This is a small account that I was talking about yesterday's stream. I did start this small account. I want to grow it, and it's kind of a challenge to myself. We started with, I think, about $1,300. It is now up to, I believe, I'm not going to pull up the whole thing here, but I believe it's up to about $2,100 now. So we've grown the account pretty good. That would be, I want to be full disclosure, that would be assuming that I close this trade right now. We'd be up at about $2,100 from about $1,300. So not too bad. Starting to grow the account just a little bit. Shout out to Blowfin, by the way. Anybody who is having trouble getting on exchanges, guys, I know a lot of people are struggling with that. I see a lot of people talking about it in the chat. Check out Blowfin. This is like one of the few exchanges that I hear a lot of people don't have issues with getting access to. So if you want to hop on and start trading with or without leverage, that you could spot trade, you could leverage trade, and it's a great exchange. And I've been using it a lot recently, so you guys could check it out. I'm sure Tony probably, I don't know, Tony might be dealing with a flat tire right now, but you can check the link in the description down below if you guys want to sign up. I'm not sure if you guys get a trading bonus or discount on your fees, but I believe you will get some kind of savings, but you will help us out here, so it's kind of a win-win situation. But check them out if you guys want. If not, trade on whatever you like. I'm not trying to be a shill here. I just know there's a lot of people struggling with the getting on the exchanges right now. So, but beautiful move here, right? You long it and then you short it. And this is, people say TA doesn't work. We'll explain this. But anyway, in the grand scheme of things, guys, we're really here on the lower time frames. And when the price action is choppy like it is, you got to find these, just to be quite honest with you guys, at the full move here. 2% move, a tiny little move like this, we were up about $1,100 on that same short position, right? And then same thing with the long position. It was only let's see here. Come on. Let me just measure the dang move. Come on. Okay. So yeah, this whole move was a 1.5% move and that was up about like $1,200 yesterday. So you don't need the gigantic moves to make a ton of money in the market. And this is kind of what you have to do. You got to get into those small scalp positions when price action in the grand scheme of things is not really doing too much. But for the most part, let me go ahead and zoom out here. I'm actually going to get rid of some of these boxes and stuff because this was basically just for these local trades. Actually, I'm not going to delete them. I'm actually just going to hide this stuff because we will come back to it at some point, whether it's tomorrow tomorrow or later today. Now, let me just hide the positions as well, and then we'll break down the price action on where I think Ethereum is likely to go next here. And let me go ahead and extend that all the way to the right. So here we are, right? And let me go ahead and zoom out here. I'm actually going to pull up this ETH chart. Is this it? Yeah. So what is going on here on Ethereum, right? And let me go ahead and hide that. So simply put, guys, this is our macro volume profile, right? Or our longer term volume profile on Ethereum. I have this pulled between about February 20th all the way to about April 29th. And that is where I got this range from, right? And simply put, we deviated below that range. Shout out to anybody who watches this channel. We deviate below the range, right? Surely you had some opportunities for scalps. You deviate, come back into the range. You finally deviate. You finally flip that value area low to support. And what happens? You travel right through that volume profile and you go right to the value area high as you would expect. Now, it doesn't always happen this clean, but, you know, oftentimes you are expecting to get all the way up to that value area high. And I show this to give you guys some context into what we're looking at here, right? You get the move through the range, the deviation above the high, and now we are just consolidating above this volume profile, above this value area high or volume profile, and this is typically where I am looking for short positions, right? This is where you know, I'll come up here and I will simply pull a volume profile, bada boom. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Man, I really do not feel good right now. Said, smash that like button. If we hit our like goal, we may be able to give away 4 6-month memberships to Token Metrics. Shout out to Tony D. Tony D said it, not me. Shout out to Tony D. And shout out to Token Metrics, the most powerful and only AI tool that I at least know of to help you find those hidden 100x gems. Shout out to Tony D. But yeah, that would be that 6-month free membership to Token Metrics is pretty fire. I don't believe it's cheap. So yeah, that would be fire. So smash up that like button, guys. Our like goal, what is our like goal today? It's let's call it 550. 550 is that like goal if you guys want to win some free Token Metrics. But this is basically what we're looking at, right? We are simply deviating above this high. This is typically where I pull that volume profile. I look for my short position in anticipation of potentially coming back down into this range, getting stuck below the value area high, coming down to the POC, losing the POC, and then going back down to the value area low, right? Now, this is typically what we look for. Now, obviously, I did take that short position up here, but this is the context, right? We're above a volume profile. That is a little bit shady because, again, you know, what happens typically when we deviate above these volume profiles, you wind up coming back in, getting stuck below the high, going back to the POC, back to the low, right? We don't just make it up. It literally happens, right? Deviation, back to the POC, back to the low. Deviation, are we about to see back to the POC, back to the value area low? Potentially. This is potentially a possibility. Now, if we take a look at Market Cypher, we have our money flow coming out here on the 2-hour time frame. This would make us anticipate a potential continuation to the downside. So 4-hour also starting to have your money flow come to the downside here. So as money flow kind of continues out here. Now, again, I want to be clear. Money flow, at least as of right now, is I would take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, right? It is very, very choppy. Again, like I cannot stress this enough, guys. If you're out there trading, please make sure you're using good risk management. You're using your stop losses. This is an extremely choppy market. There is no bones about it, right? This is a choppy market and a very, very difficult market to trade right now. There's no clear direction. I mean, if you guys tune in here, it's been very hard to kind of pick a direction as we are just sitting in it's an absolute washer machine, right? So just be careful if you're trading. We do have some of these VWAPs coming up. But as far as money flow, it is more trending to the downside. So definitely possibilities of getting a breakdown here. And I will give you the local levels, right? So as we come down here, if we get a bigger breakdown and we get stuck under this value area high, I'm going to be watching this spider line, which, by the way, guys, shout out to CryptoFace. You guys should definitely go check out his new spider line video. We now have new spider lines to draw on our chart, at least for Bitcoin. You could draw them on Ethereum as well, but if we take a look here, there are new spider lines because, as you guys know, the spider lines that we look at right now, or the spider lines from last cycle, were drawn from the 2018 bear market, right? So they were drawn from here, and then you lay them on top of this candle here. But basically, they're coming down from 2018, 2019. But now we have enough price action here to draw new spider lines on these candles down here, right? I'm not going to draw them right now, but CryptoFace, as you guys know, I say this every time I talk about the spider lines. I did not invent the spider lines. CryptoFace did. And he just came out with a video with new spider lines being drawn for this cycle, which are basically going to be drawn from these candles, right? So you would grab the top of the body of the candles and you would drag it over to this candle right here, which is, I believe, if I'm on the right candle, April 10th, Monday, April 10th. So you would lay it from all these candles on top of that candle. And if we hide our current spider lines, I just want to tease this a little bit. Shout out to CryptoFace. I saw that video last night and I was like, I am so here for this. So shout out to CryptoFace for real. But you could see, guys, how well these are being respected. I mean, this is just one spider line, right? But definitely go check out that video. I'll probably make one at some point. But for now, go check out CryptoFace's video on the new spider lines. Absolutely goated with these. And these have been so reliable. The original spider lines have been so reliable so far. I'm so pumped that we have those new spider lines now. So shout out to CryptoFace. Go check out that video, guys. But let's hop back over to Ethereum and see what we got going on. What just happened? Bear with me here, guys. Okay, yeah. So essentially, let me zoom out here a bit. Bada boom. Bada bing. There we go. Okay, so why am I lost here? What just happened to... Oh, we got to zoom out. Am I tripping right now? Am I losing my mind? Am I losing my mind? Bada boom. Okay, there we go. All right, let's come back down to the lower time frames. So obviously, we are deviating above this profile. If we get the move to the downside, guys, I am going to be looking at this spider line down here for two very specific reasons, right? Well, number one, if we hold this short position, right, and we get stuck under here, this is obviously going to act as some support. But if we pull our Fibonacci from this wick low down here, sitting at about 30, I'll just pull it real quick, bada boom, the wick low sitting down here at about 35.33. The 786 from that fib pull from the low to the high is in perfect confluence with that spider line, making it an extremely, extremely saucy level. Shout out to Captain Kirk. What is going on? Welcome in. Okay, so shout out to Greg. But yeah, if we come down here, guys, I will be, and I'll be honest, this is kind of my plan for the short position that I'm in right now, right? So if I pull up the short that I'm in, which is taken from, let's see, let me just come in here and type the entry, is at 38.03 is my entry price, right? So this is my short position. Bada boom. Right, that is my short position. I will be looking, right? Maybe I will probably be taking profit here partially along the way. But as we approach this golden pocket, if we do wind up hitting it, I will be taking profit. However, this would be, in my opinion, somewhat of a significant place to be looking for this to go. Because if we continue down, this is just a nice confluent level to get a bounce off of. And I may or may not be interested in longs down here as well. Scalp longs, as we will be below that value area high. You got to be careful because if you do get that bounce, you may just reject that value area high. But if we grab that fixed range volume profile and pull it, you can see the value area low of the range is sitting down there as well, right? So now you kind of have context for this trade, right? We came down, we got a bounce, came to the local value area high, and now we're getting stuck under the POC. So once we get stuck under this POC decisively, where is price likely to go? Price is going to be likely to go to that value area low, and if we get to that value area low, in order to lose the value area, in order to visit this value area low, you have to lose this golden pocket. And once you get stuck under that golden pocket, not only is the value area low going to be likely, but also you would look for your 786 Fibonacci retracement level to come in. And that is why, not just this is the level I'm looking at, but this is exactly why and the exact context that I'm looking at to kind of plan for this trade to play out. So if we do get down there, there are many reasons to get down there. And when we do get down there, there are many reasons to bounce. Because once we get down there, I will be looking, not only do we have the spider line 786, but at that point, we're going to literally be, let me go ahead and hide the current range. We are literally going to be deviating below the value area low. Bada boom. Right? We'll literally be deviating below that volume profile. Right? And if you can get your bullish confirmations, reclaim that value area low, you may be able to catch another one of those value area trades where you look for your confirmations as you deviate below the range, enter, reclaim the value area low, and then fill the rest of the range, right? Now, I'm not saying to just long this level, right? It's going to be very dependent on what the price action looks like and what kind of confirmations we get inside of this price action or inside of this level. So that is what I'm going to be looking at. But so far, so good on the short position. So, you know, for me, or at least for the sake of my short, I am going to be hoping that we can eventually get stuck under this POC and get a move at least to the value area low. I will probably be taking profit right before that value area low, right? And then I will wait to see if price deviates below the range and get support down here. I would actually even want to check here, see if we have any other confluent levels. We do have a monthly level down there. Let's check the MPOCs real quick. No MPOCs. Let me go ahead and pull up this template, pull up the weekly. Yeah, we do not have any weekly naked points of control. We do not have any monthly naked points of control. Let's check out the daily. And we don't have any daily naked points. So no naked point of control confluence down there at all. But you do have the spider line and the 786, which is, you know, nice enough in my opinion, right, to at least look for scalp long. So that is the plan here, guys. We'll see. Am I going to get stopped out of this position? Potentially. But if not, we would be, let's see, 36.56. What is the oh, this isn't on Femex. I won't be able to tell what that gain would be. Femex does this really cool thing. Check this out, right? Femex does this really cool thing where if you're looking at a chart, they pull up the Bitcoin. Come on, load it up. There we go. Femex does this really cool thing where if you hover over a price, it actually gives you, oh, come on, don't make me a liar. Don't make me a liar, Femex. Oh, there we go, right? So if you hover, that's a really cool feature. If you just hover over a price, it'll actually tell you your estimated P&L, right? So we get a ride up to 74K. I will be up $7,800, currently up 4. And this is the long position. Still holding it. Still haven't taken profits. I am monitoring this very, very closely, though. So, but yeah, still holding that long from the low. But other than that, guys, that is my plan for Ethereum, at least locally. We get the move to the downside. Those are the key levels I'm looking at. If we get a move back up, I'm just looking in context of this volume profile. So there you guys go. There is my outlook on ETH. Other than that, your market cipher looks very, very, very similar to Bitcoin. VWAP's coming up on some of these higher hourly time frames, but money flow altogether is continuing down. 5-hour red dot now printing. 4-hour looking for a red dot to print. Our 15-minute money flow is kind of coming up, which is contradictory. 12-minute VWAP coming down. Money flow kind of, yeah. Money, man, I hate this choppy market right now. You got to get into these super sketchy positions. Obviously, we're not having trouble trading it, but it is quite stressful as it is very hard to tell where things are going to go. We got Hannah King in the chat. What is going on? Hannah, welcome in. She is the princess of the CandleMafia, guys. Drop a like for Hannah King and show her some love in the chat. But if you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Rob, let's do like maybe 2 altcoin requests. I'll cover 1 or 2 of them while we're counting up the votes. But go ahead. I will take a look. I'll take a look at Chainlink, so you don't have to put that on the list. I'll take a look at Chainlink. I'll take a look at XRP really quick. Hey, Walking Dead X said, Frankie, quick, answer for a quick question, up or down? Shout out to Walking Dead. I would say up and then down. And then if it goes down before it goes up, then I'll say down, up, and then down. And then probably down again and up. And then up a little more, and then down. Shout out to Walking Dead X. Yo, Greg said no stable coin. Shout out to Greg. Does not want to see XRP. As we all know, this thing has been going completely sideways for quite some time. But let's go ahead. I will check out Chainlink really quickly here for you guys. And let's go ahead and dive right in. And I don't know if I said this, Rob, let's do like 1 or 2. I'm actually, believe it or not, guys, I actually may hop out of here early. I really am not feeling well. I'll try to get to an hour. I just have a splitting headache. And also, things are completely boring. So I figure if I could save some energy here and rest tonight while things go sideways, I am happy to do a short stream on days like this. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on. Now, in the grand scheme of things, guys, like I think we all understand this at this point, right? We've had our bear market range. We've gotten the breakout of the bear market range, which we actually saw coming pretty quickly. Not quickly, but pretty accurately saw this breakout coming. We got it. We brought it up right to our next target, which was the macro value area low at about 1686. Or $16.89, almost $17, where we obviously saw some resistance as expected, as these previous value area lows are obviously going to be your doorway to higher prices, but in the meantime, they will act as resistance until you wind up flipping them to support. So we wound up coming up, hitting that value area low, and then we consolidated, finally broke up into our volume profile, and now we are simply just bing-bonging around in somewhat of a larger range here. But I just kind of want to talk about this because as we come up, we flip that value area low to support, we get the move to the upside, and we wound up getting the rejection here from the weekly. So we are seeing a little bit of resistance, but let me go ahead and clean up this chart just a little bit. I'm going to leave that weekly up, get rid of this volume profile, bada boom. And then there's the daily negative point of control value area low acting as support absolutely beautifully. But kind of what I would look at here, guys, I don't think, oh, this is actually pretty, I'm going to hide that macro volume profile, and I'm actually going to pull this volume profile, right? Because this is somewhat interesting to me as we are, and let me hide some of these other folders just to clean things up. Hide this as well. So here we are, right? You have your volume profile, lows down here at about 1280, highs up here at about 1767, and this is your local range, right? So what would I be looking at as of right now? Well, hey, every time we deviate above that volume profile, we actually ranged around a bit up here, but every time you deviate above that profile, you're looking for a retracement into, or a pullback into the value area, a rejection on the value area high, and then you're expecting price to go to the POC and the value area low. We got that to happen once. Then we deviated from the low, when reclaimed the value area low as support, POC, second test, third test, to the POC and the value area high, and now we are simply deviating above the value area high once again. So this, in my opinion, I will say this. Money flow not looking that bad on Link, right? Money flow coming back up. Red dot confirmed or printing here on the daily. So sure, can we get a move back down? Absolutely, based off that red dot. But your money flow actually doesn't look horrible here on Link. This is actually looking a little different than other things, right? Money flow crossed back over into the green on the 16-hour. Daily is following suit. Taking a look at the 2-day. Money flow coming back up. VWAP coming down, but, you know, it is trending in the right direction. Take a look at the 3-day. Yeah, 3-day kind of looking ugly. Let's see here. Yeah, that daily, though. Once that daily money flow crosses into the green, what does this tell us, right? This tells us that we could potentially anticipate a continuation to the upside, right? Money flow is crossing into the green. We know that money flow indicates longer-term trend, so we could look for this to potentially continue to the upside. So let's go ahead and pull some fibs here to see where that higher low may be likely to come in, right? And then if we pull up Lux Algo, shout out to Lux Algo, where we have our, I mean, look at that smart trail here on the 16-hour. Let's pull up a 4-hour real quick. So you can see here, we had our change of character locally. We had our swing change of character, but this is basically showing us that we are in bullish market structure, right? We broke this high, changed characters, or changed, not characters, but we changed character to bullish. We came up, we put in higher lows, higher highs, higher low, higher high. Could we put in a higher low? Sure, it's possible, actually approaching this 4-hour smart trail right now. So local support is going to be, there we go. Next level of support is going to be the value area high. And you do have the smart trail coming in here, but I'll be honest, with the daily red dot, I would expect a potential bigger move down. Rather, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we get below that value area high and continue back to the lower prices. So, but what I want to show here on Lux Algo is we are now in bullish market structure, which would technically make you expect a, you know, continued breaks of structure to the upside, right? So this would make you anticipate higher prices, at least within the context of the 4-hour. Pulling up the daily, you could see we had a bullish change of character, and this is a little bit more clear to see. So what do I do when I see these bullish changes of character? I'm actually going to turn on the colored candles here real quick on Lux Algo. By the way, shout out to Lux Algo. If you guys are interested in checking out their indicators, you can go ahead and check out luxalgo.com or check the link in the description down below to check out all their subscription options. They do 30-day free money-back guarantees. Great indicator, obviously we use it all the time, but I want to show you guys kind of how I would handle this, right? We're seeing the change of character on the daily, right? This is bullish. This is very similar to what we saw on Bitcoin that made me anticipate higher prices for our long, right? I entered my long position here, and then we broke structure to the upside, or I'm sorry, changed character to the upside, indicating that the continuation was likely, and what happened? We got the continuation, right? So very, very similar here on Chainlink, right? We get the bullish change of character on the daily, and this is where I anticipate price to continue to the upside, but not just in a straight line. That's not how price moves, right? What I would expect is a potential retracement, and that's what I'm waiting for. That's if I were looking for a long on Link, I would be waiting for that retracement, right? So we wait for the change of character, and then you sit on your hands, and first, before you sit on your hands, you got to pull out your fib. You can't pull out your fib if you're sitting on your hands. But basically what you want to do here is you see the change of character, and then you want to pull your Fibonacci retracement level and see where those likely higher lows may come in. And we know that that golden entry zone is usually between the golden pocket and the 786 retracement, right? And right now, if you pull from the absolute low to the low here, the low that broke and changed the character, you can see that that golden pocket is in confluence with that POC of the range. So right here would be an interesting level to look for a long, in my opinion, potentially even within this entire zone, because we know if price pulls back here, we could get the bounce off that golden pocket. But what I would actually more likely do is come down to a little bit of a lower time frame. So for this case, I will come down to the 10-hour, and I'm actually going to find, I want to turn off the candle colors here so I can actually see the candles. But what you could do here is let me go ahead and pull a little bit more of a local fib right here. And the reason I'm doing this, guys, is because I want to go back to the daily, and I want to see if that daily smart trail is in confluence with that I want to see if that daily smart trail is in line with that golden pocket, which it is somewhat confluent with. It's not perfect, but this golden pocket, this is kind of the zone. I would actually probably lean heavier on this zone. Right here at about 1535 could be where we wind up pulling back to. So if we look for that pullback, obviously, depending on where the smart trail is sitting, I will look for an entry there. However, if we come down to this golden pocket 786 retracement, we could potentially look for a higher low to be formed to continue that breakish structure to the upside. And that's basically, how I use the price actions on concepts on Lux Algo to find good entry points, waiting for that change of character to make it likely to anticipate higher prices. This is how you kind of pick and get on the right side of these trades, right? A lot of people don't know if they should be holding these little short positions for 5 minutes or if they should be looking for this to be a big move to the downside. But by using the market structure and price actions concepts here, or even if you're just eyeballing the market structure by eye, this is a great way to remain on the right side of the market, right? Price pulls back, you are going to be looking for higher lows. It's just going to be statistically more likely for a higher low and a continuation to the upside based off the market structure, right? But obviously we have things like Lux Algo and Market Cipher to look at the money flow, etc., to anticipate those continued higher prices. So if you guys want to check this out, link in the description down below. Shout out to Lux Algo. But if we come back on over to Market Cipher here, this is, again, what we like to use money flow for, right? Once money flow crosses over into the green, this is where I say it's probably going to be more likely to come down, put in a higher low, and continue to the upside, right? So we have multiple things potentially pointing in that direction. But it doesn't mean that we can't correct and come back in for a retracement. So there you go. That is what I'd be looking at on Link. Pretty specific TA there. But again, we gotta fill this stream time some way. So there you go. All right, let's see. Pin my next comment. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Thank you for that, brother. Let's take a quick look at XRP. Still going sideways. Let's take a quick look at ADA. I usually joke about that, guys, but literally there's nothing to look at here. It's pretty funny. We look at this all the time, and it's basically a meme at this point. We are still just going sideways for 49 days on XRP. So, yeah, literally the same thing. So literally nothing to say there. And I don't see any high time frame. Weekly green dot is now confirmed and just never gave you anything. Just straight sideways. That's manipulative, in my opinion. But anyway, let's take a look at Cardano. And shout out to, I forget who asked for this yesterday. I forgot to ask for this yesterday, but we had to move it to today's stream because we ran out of time yesterday. So here we are. Shout out to Greg said, it is a meme. It is a meme coin after all. Duh. Shout out to Greg. And shout out to Gen Z. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay, getting stuck in chat here. All right, let me go ahead and this is not the Cardano chart that we want. Let's pull up the coin. That is the Coinbase chart. Let's pull up the Binance chart. Okay, I'm actually going to start nice and fresh here. Actually going to go bada boom, clear all of this out. Bada boom. Okay. Let's see. XRP will 1,000x 1 minute after I sell it. Shout out to Tony Roaz. This also happens to me, brother. This also happens to me sometimes. But hey, if you sell it in profit, there is nothing to complain about. There is nothing to complain about. As long as you make money, that is all that matters. But let's go ahead and take a look here at Cardano. Let's come on over to the daily. There we go. Obviously, guys, like in the grand scheme of things, I will say macro volume profile, like in the long term, this is our major key level of resistance. Like we must get above this, right? Why is this writing up there? That is not what I wanted to do. Bada boom. There we go, right? So this is absolutely key, and it is our doorway to higher prices. Bada boom, right? So if price comes on over and flips this to support, that's where I expect the big move on a Cardano. The key is finding a nice entry down here, right, to get in before we even approach that level, right? Because then at that point, by the time you flip this to support, you're already massively in profit, which is a nice position to be in. But let me go ahead. I'm going to hide this little measure tool. Bada boom. And let's break down what we're looking at locally here. So what I would do is I would be looking at this volume profile right here. And let me just pull it all the way back here for a second. Yeah, I would be looking at this. I'm going to draw this local profile. I'll give you guys some fresh levels on Cardano. Bada boom. Bada bing. Got 1, 2, 3. These are your key levels, right? This is the at least macro value area that I would be looking at. Nice confluence here on your golden pocket value area high. It's going to be key resistance. Bada boom. And I would also, let me just see something. I want to pull this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you obviously have two kind of things to look at here. This is your macro profile, value area high, POC, and I'll just read these off. 66.49 is your value area high. 66 cents, I'll just call it, right? 60 cents is your POC, and then your value area low is coming in at, let me just get this exact level for you. Value area low coming in at 50 cents, right? So with that being said, these are your higher time frame levels, and I'm actually going to mark this out. Bada boom, bada bing. High time frame value area, right? That way I can easily turn this off. Let me grab this. Whoops, grab this, hide it. There we go. Now we can easily turn it on and off. So that's going to be your high time frame context. This is your local doorway to higher prices. 50 cents. You got to crack that 50-cent level, right? It is also a psychological level, right? So that 50-cent level, once you flip it to support, you could expect that bigger move back up to the POC value area high. Other than that, we are just consolidating down here. Money flow is not necessarily very directional. It's kind of just choppy, which is horrific. I hate this. Like, look how choppy this money flow is. This is horrible. This is untradeable. If you are not an experienced trader, please do not be trading this. Please, for the love of God, or at least be trading this in the context of this time frame, right? If you want to scalp this, at least scalp it on a lower time frame where you can get a little bit more direction. But with that being said, I would simply just be waiting. If I were trading Cardano, I would probably be more likely to wait to look for a long after we reclaim that local value area low. Other than that, these are the key levels. Nothing really super directional here on Market Cipher B. Money flow crossover into the red on the 3-day. This is more bearish. 2-day, Money flow in the red, that's definitely more bearish, right? 5-day, red dot just disappeared. You saw that live. There it is. It's back now. This is more bearish. So if we cannot reclaim this level, it's going to be likely that we get another move to the downside here. Now, where can we go down to is the question. And the answer to that is, I would say, let me pull a macro. Let me pull this golden pocket here. Yeah, this 786 high volume node sitting down here. It's going to be another key level. Label this 786, sitting at about 36 cents. I'm not saying we're going down to 36 cents, but I am saying if you lose this golden pocket, there's actually a few different levels here. Yeah, there's actually a few levels here. I don't know if I'd actually be looking directly down to, yeah, we already bounced off this value area high. So yeah, this zone right here, POC 786, like this is going to be, if you lose this golden pocket decisively, this is going to be the next zone to look at, in my opinion, right? Come down here, that's where I'd look for another long. Sitting at about 36 cents. But other than that, nothing really too directional on this as far as indicators go, and I would probably lean a little bit more bearish. I would change that sentiments once we flip that value area low, though. But these are the key levels that I would be looking at. Other than that, I would simply be looking at, I would just pull a volume profile on this more local range right here, right? So if you were looking for scalps, right, you could look at the context of this local profile, right? Do we have any confluence here from the low to the high? Yeah, I mean, we're kind of sitting on the level right now, but the 786 value area low is your next key level of support, right? So for scalps, I would be looking at this, but to be honest, this is too choppy to trade for me, right? Money flow's all chopped up, like on a lot of these time frames, right? Like this is absolutely hideous, in my opinion. Like even the 15-minute, look at this. This is like, as far as market cipher, and what I look at on money flow, and in my opinion, guys, this is literally one of the best indicators you can use. This has nothing to do with market cipher. Market cipher is goated. This is just the market that we're in. And as traders, guys, you have to be willing to take the trades that come to you. If there is no trade, you cannot take a trade, right? At least according to my rules. I would not have shorted Ethereum. I simply would not have shorted Ethereum if I did not get signals, right? I didn't just wait to come up to the 786 and short, right? And if you're asking, what 786 are you talking about? Let me just pull it for you. Bada boom. Believe it was that 786, right? We came up into the golden pocket 786, and we got actual bearish confirmations here. I'm not going to go over it exactly, just for time's sake, and but for the time, for that reasoning, right? This has to do with order flow, right? Pull up exo charts here, Coinalyze, looking at bearish CVD, right? Looking at things such as the TPO profiles, right? You come up into these zones, you can actually zoom into the candles and analyze what is going on within this price action. You can look at open interest, right? There's many things that I look at. It's kind of hard to put like a end-all, be-all thing that I look at. Like once you see this thing, you have to short. You have to identify things as you approach these levels. However, we have to take the trades as they're presented, right? So sometimes, like for Cardano, on Cardano's, in the case of Cardano here, I would not just be taking willy-nilly trades. And when money flow looks like this, there's no clear signal. There's no clear confirmation to take a trade. So just keep that in mind. Just be careful out there. Things are choppy. I wouldn't even recommend a lot of people. Like if you're new, I would definitely start on a demo account right now. This is a very choppy market. Like look at this. Look at this price action. Okay, I don't understand. Is if you hold shift and then you click down, you're supposed to be able to measure just like that. Of course it worked that time. But then sometimes it just doesn't work. Okay, now it's working. Okay, here we go. So for about 3 straight days, you had basically, other than this scam wick, you basically had an oscillation of 2% for 3 days. You were stuck in this little sideways price action. Absolutely brutal. Right? Like this is miserable price action. This is like almost untradeable, right? Unless you're literally on the 1 minute time frame, right? And like even then, it's like very choppy. This is not the price action you want to trade right now, in my opinion, right? Unless you're experienced, right? We're trading it. But Cardano specifically is pretty choppy. So be careful out there. But that is going to be the key levels that I'm looking at, guys. Pull up that high time frame area, right? So unless you're like micro scalping, which I know a lot of people are not, I would be looking at price action in the context of this profile right here. So there we go. Let's go ahead and check out Dogecoin really quick. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, Dogecoin kind of uneventful here. Let's come up to the daily. This is the wrong chart. Let's go Dogecoin. So here we are. Let's see here. Let's come up to the daily, zoom out. Yeah, I mean, this all remains the same, right? We go below the volume profile, break above the POC, flip the value area low to support, back to the POC, flip the POC to support. At this point, as long as we remain above the POC, I would be expecting a potential move back up to our value area high, which is actually interesting because we have a little bit of resistance up here because we have the value area high of this range, but we also have the value area low of the macro upper range, right? So this value area low is going to be a key level of resistance because this is going to also be the doorway to higher prices, right? So once we come up here, sure, you're going to be looking for, and again, as long as we remain above the POC at 15 cents, we could potentially continue. We would expect the journey up to that level to continue. But if we do get back up there, sure, you could look for resistance at that value area high, but once we break above it, we are potentially flipping the value area low, again, of this macro upper range to support, which could potentially open up the door to much higher prices, bringing you to the POC at 26 cents. Get above that, you could look for the move up to the value area high at about 42 cents. So once we get up here, like this is going to be extremely, extremely important to watch because once you flip that to support decisively, you could be looking for a much bigger move up on Cardano. So that is what I'd be looking at. Other than that, looking within our volume profile, as long as you remain above that POC, looking up towards the high. Lose the POC, looking to come down towards that value area low, and more importantly, the 13 cent 786 sitting just below. And actually, let me go ahead and move this a little bit. It did move slightly. So let me go ahead and change that. Bada boom, bada bing. Pretty much the same level, though. So that's what I'd be looking at on Cardano. 4-day, let's see, the 5-day, 6-day, weekly. Come on, load. There we go. Green dot on the weekly is printing. This didn't give us much on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin got us the green dot. We confirmed it. Didn't really give us too much action unless we wind up getting another big move out of here soon. So I wouldn't really be writing home about this green dot, but technically that would be a longer-term bullish signal. But other than that, like it's really chopped up here. I would just expect more chop, to be honest. But in the context of the volume profiles, and that is why the volume profiles are so helpful, guys, because in a choppy market, you know, at least you know, like sure, you could expect all this ugliness, but at least you know all that ugliness is happening above the POC, right? Because once you break below the POC, then you're like, okay, now we can probably expect lower prices. But as long as you remain above that POC, that's why these key levels are so important. And I like to use the volume profiles just because you don't have to find the levels, right? Like they're derived from volume. They will move as the level becomes less significant. It will move to the more significant level. So with all that being said, that is all the time I think we have for today's live stream, guys. Like I said, I apologize. I mean, we went for an hour and 6 minutes. Barely a short stream, but my head is literally throbbing right now. So I'm going to head out of here. We will cover more altcoins tomorrow. Smash that like button, guys, because we are going to be doing our giveaways tomorrow. So if you want to win some free crypto or even some free Frankie Candles hats, we'll have to hit our like goal on tomorrow's live stream to get the Frankie Candles hats. But if you guys want to win some free crypto, tune in tomorrow. We always do this once a week. So we will be giving away a bunch of crypto, hopefully some hats. So smash that like button on the way out, Mafia. I got to get out of here before my head explodes. Shout out to you guys. I will see you here, same place, same time, tomorrow night at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Hashtag Mrs. Candles is real. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, I can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the last up, whose man's high? Through it all, I stay the same. I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right. I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life. I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose, and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Shout out to Singularity. Let's go ahead and take a look at Mover, or M-O-V-R. I don't know how you say it. But shout out to you, brother. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I already had some TA on here. Apparently, we have a monthly naked point of control at 59.27. Also, we are getting a reaction on this level of support. I'll be quite honest with you. I'm not 100% sure where these came from. They're probably naked points of control, if I had to assume. We haven't looked at this in quite some time, so I don't know exactly what we were looking at here. But this could be, yeah, we did get the bounce here, so it did work. But let me go ahead and clear this stuff because this is old and potentially irrelevant. I'll actually leave this level. But let's go ahead and zoom out here. We have a monthly naked point of control sitting at 59.27. So if this thing does get another massive move up, this is going to be key resistance. Maybe it was a fib that we were looking at, those levels. No. Maybe? No. Interesting. But now that we look at it, you did hold that 786. So I'm going to get rid of this line because at least I know that this 786 is a 786. But yeah, let me see. Monthly, no information on the monthly. Let's take a look at the daily. Nothing. Choppy. Red dot printing on your 5-hour. Very similar to Ethereum. Let's see here. 4-hour red dot looking to print. 3-hour red dot printing. So short term, I would probably be looking for a little bit more of a move to the downside. But I'll be honest, it's very hard to call this. It's extremely choppy. Could pull a volume profile here. This is choppy. I don't feel comfortable calling a direction on this, to be honest. What I can do is give you the key levels. Let me go ahead and pull up the VPVR. Bada boom. Pull up the daily. Yeah, it's like there's not even that much price action to look at, which makes it even more difficult. So I'll give you local levels of support and resistance, which are, I'll be honest with you, like this is even very unclear. So I would say this. These lows are very key. If you lose these lows, very likely you come down to that's where that level came from. Yeah, that must be where that level came from. It's a high volume node. So I would say if you decisively lose this 786, definitely be looking down towards this high volume node. I'm actually going to label this so we know what it is next time. I would watch this high volume node because once you come down here, that's going to be your next key level of support. Let me come up to a higher time frame. We have no confluence on that at all, unfortunately. But yeah, kind of hard to call here. Next key level to the downside, $6.80. Your next key level to the upside, however, is a little bit more clear because your next key level to the upside is going to be a mixture of your local value area low right here. This is key resistance. Right hither. Between 2319 and 2086. So if you continue up, I would be cautious of resistance here. Not only would I be cautious of resistance, but this also gives you an idea of what levels you need to flip to support in order to get a bigger move to the upside, right? So if you come up here, flip this to support, you could look for a move up to about, potentially up to 2883, but definitely key level of resistance between 2459 and 2086. And then if you get the bigger move to the downside, next key level is $6.80. And with all that being said, that's all the time I got. Shout out to Singularity. Hopefully that helps you out. Kind of choppy analysis there. It's a really hard chart to read, to be quite honest with you. But hopefully that helps you out in some way, shape, or form. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here. 5 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, man, we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run